What's up, everyone? This is the Awesemo.com NHL Hit the Ice show. We got an 8-game slate. I think it's 8 to talk about here. I'm with Steve Homercleese Bauer. Steve, how are you doing on this Thursday afternoon?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's a little under the weather, but fighting through it. But otherwise, yeah, just looking forward to tonight. 8 game slates are my preferred type, so can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, I live for the 5 to 8 games, so
Yeah.
this will be nice. Not too much crazy stuff. We were talking a little bit before the show about ownership, as we always do. Do you see anything that jumps out to you that's like looking like a crazy chalky spot?
Well, Winnipeg does, but they do have the two lines there, and then there's the different power play correlations.
Yep.
But just after Chicago got smashed last game, Winnipeg's pretty hot right now. I kind of see that being the top spot, and then possibly Tampa Bay. I think just based on the betting line.
Yeah, just like goal totals, like Winnipeg,
Yeah.
super healthy. Tampa, they're both at home too. Nashville, decent, but I haven't heard a ton of talk about them. And then the Rangers Ottawa game with the 6.5 total. Strome at 3,900. Chris says he should be chalk. Dylan Strome for Chicago.
Probably maybe Ryan Strome.
No,
Oh no, Strome as well.
the
Okay.
guy centering
Yeah.
DeBrincat and Kane.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of prefer the other Strome playing with
Me too.
Zibanejad and Kreider.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So it should be a very fun slate to talk about. Nothing. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about like a Philadelphia one spot like we did the other night, where it was the best spot and there weren't really other ones that could compare.
Yep.
It didn't work out, but we talked about that when I was solo yesterday. We talked about it for a little bit. So it sounded like there
Yeah,
was some
how they
tilted
didn't
people.
how they didn't get there. Or-
Yeah, just
yeah.
like just because that spot didn't get there, you shouldn't just fade chalk because it's hockey, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Yeah, they had an amazing game. If you just look at their underlying numbers
Yeah.
there, I think it was like 25 plus shots for and only 5 against.
And
Shots on goal.
Couturier like passed up a wide open goal basically
Yeah.
on a 2-on-1. So
Jeez.
yeah. So it was just weird stuff happens.
Worked out better for me. I had more Ottawa than Philly anyway.
Okay. Yeah, you probably did pretty well that night then.
Pretty good, but you really need to hit on your goalies, I think. That was the key. There's only like 2 good goalies.
Yeah.
Every other goalie was mediocre or shit, so.
All right. Let's do this. Let's talk about these games. We're going to start with the Islanders and the Bruins. 2.7 implied total for the Islanders, 3.3 for the Bruins. We have Kobe Cave centering David Pastrnak and Brad Marchand. He is not going to be on the power play. At least he's not listed there just yet. But a pretty good implied total here for the Bruins. I don't really love it without Bergeron. I don't know. Where are you at here, Steve?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And Islanders, while their underlying numbers are terrible, they don't really seem to give up all that much
Yeah.
all the time. So yeah, you're down Bergeron, but I don't know. I think the Bruins can still do well, but this seems like a pretty high total for what I'm expecting.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was going to be. I mean, I thought maybe we'd see a 5.5 total, but I guess with Islanders games, you don't usually see that just because they allow so many shot attempts. Matt says,
Sure.
"Do you see strong hard matching going on here?" Because I really.
Well, they did last game
Yep.
against Pittsburgh.
They matched. Yeah, they matched Marchand and Pastrnak with the
Yeah.
Crosby line, right?
Yeah. And here though, it's tough because it's hard to say which line is actually the top line, which one you would want to shut down, right? But I guess Pittsburgh's Pittsburgh's somewhat clearer, but you still
Right.
have 2 awesome lines, right?
Right.
But I do expect 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2 kind of deal.
Okay.
It's just who do you think they're considering number 1 and 2, right? So we have them listed as 1 and 2 on the site, but that doesn't mean that's how Boston thinks of it. Because personally, I think the Lee Nelson Eberle line is the better line.
I agree. Yeah, and yeah. So Barzell, it's kind of like the thing with the Rangers the other night. Like Zibanejad was the better, like the number 1 center, but he wasn't playing with great line mates.
Yeah.
So the answer would probably be yes. There's probably going to be some hard matching going on.
But we don't know.
Yeah, we just don't know who it's going to be. I don't think
Yeah.
it matters much for Boston side because I don't think either of those two lines are good defensively.
Yeah.
But for the Islanders, it definitely would make a difference. I mean, Boston's not a team I love targeting, but for MME purposes, if I knew the Nelson line wasn't going to see a lot of Marchand and Pasternak, I would be higher on that line than I currently am. So we just don't really know. Is there a line you prefer for the Islanders?
You think you want to avoid the Marchand and Pasternak, or you want to target them?
I mean,
yeah, because you want to avoid them. They played against. Yeah, it's a good point. They played against Tavares last game, and it was a super high event matchup.
Right.
Both lines really generated a lot of offense. So it's kind of small sample, tough to see there. But I expect that to continue to be a high event matchup for
without Bergeron.
Without Bergeron.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I kind of would rather target that. If you look at the numbers for the Krejci line over a much larger sample, they're much better defensively.
Okay.
Than the other one. So I think you would ideally want to go against them, but I'm not confident in which line they'll play against. So I think just a mix and match of the two Islanders lines if you want to go there. But I'd still prefer to be on the Boston side, I think.
Cool. And then do you like that second Boston line at all? Just as a value?
Like they're solid all around. I don't think they have as much upside as the top line, obviously, but they're solid and they're not very expensive, so I think they're usable. I just don't think I'd go out of my way to target them tonight.
And then, kind of last question: would you consider playing Colby Cave? He wouldn't be like a cash play, would he? Or would he?
It depends on the rest of your lineup. Do you need to go that low?
Right.
I wouldn't just plug him in right off the bat and say, "Hey, cash play." Okay. It's possible. I didn't really look at his stats too much. He's not on FanDuel, so he's on DraftKings, but not on FanDuel. So don't go looking for him, or if you're playing that site. But I didn't really pay close attention to his shots in the first game. It was only 8 minutes. But you're playing with Pasternak and Marchand at even strength, so that's a solid spot. I think he's fine at that price, dead minimum. So.
Okay. Defenseman here, I kind of like Johnny Boychuk for 3,600 if I'm going to someone on the Islander side. I mean, Pulak perfectly fine as well, but taking the $600, Boychuk's been shooting a ton and blocking shots and playing more minutes. So he's the guy that jumps out to me as a little bit of a value. Do you like any of these defenders on either side? And then you can talk about the goalies too.
I think Boychuk and Pulak project the best. Mayfield's fine, but similar price. I'd rather go with Pulak at 4,100, 4,200. For Boston, it's pretty much just Krug. He's expensive, but Grzelcyk gets the minutes. But I guess his shots have been a little bit better the last few games, so he's fine. 3,300. Yeah, I'd include him, I suppose. Lozon's somewhat interesting at 2,600 as well. If you're playing multiple lineups, 2,600, decent. His ice time's not great, but he is playing on the top pairing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was struggling to look for some punt defense when I was playing around with some hand builds, so maybe that's a guy that you could plug in there for 2,600.
His shots and blocks per minutes are pretty good. Rask, I kind of like Rask here just because the Islanders have kind of cooled off a little bit lately on the offense. I mean, the regression might start to hit soon enough, so I would consider him big home favorite. 8K is not too bad. Rask is playing better. I think it's fine.
All right. All right, let's go to the next game, the Minnesota Wild and the Columbus Blue Jackets. 2.9 implied total for the Wild, 3.2 for the Blue Jackets. We've got Niederreiter back with Koivu and Parise. So we've seen this line. We've got a little bit of a sample. They kind of slow it down. It uses the shutdown line at home, whether it's Coyle or Niederreiter. But I don't really have a ton that I like here either, outside of maybe making a case for this Columbus top line. Do you see anything that jumps out to you, Steve?
Nothing that jumps out because I think the top two lines will match up pretty evenly. So those are kind of the only parts I like of each team. If, because both third lines are pretty weak defensively.
Right.
If we saw a situation where, some home teams like to get their top lines away from tougher matchups and then they were facing the depth, then that'd be a great spot. But there's a good chance these two top lines cancel each other out. I do think Minnesota's a little sneaky here. I'm pretty sure no one's going to be on them. And that Stahl line has some really good numbers. Columbus has been trading chances back and forth a lot. So I think they're kind of sneaky tonight. They'll go pretty low owned.
Yeah, I mean,
So I don't mind that at all.
I didn't really even like look at them that hard, but
Yeah.
their numbers, they always come up very well for me when I'm building, like when I'm doing crunches and stuff. They haven't had like a big blow up game either, so I think you're right. They're probably going to be somewhat low owned. That would be the Minnesota line that I'd want to go to. They're not priced down or anything crazy, so they're not going to pop up for a lot of people. You see like in Osmos grades too, they're nothing special as far as value goes. So yeah, I think that's a good spot for MME, or like maybe I should consider them for like a qualifier.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. It's a risk, right? But
yeah, I mean, I've got 2 lineups, so it's gonna be tough for them to find their way onto one. But
sure,
I should probably consider it at least. Like no one's gonna be on them. Their numbers are incredible.
Yeah. Just Columbus has been inconsistent defensively so far this year. They can give it up at times. Minnesota's mostly a team you want to be playing at home, but I don't know. I just have kind of a hunch on them tonight. I wouldn't say it's, maybe not the best spot to target. There's tons of weaker teams on the slate.
For sure. The one thing I did kind of notice about Columbus's top line is they're not really trading chances a ton. Like I'm sure their expected goals are down. Their high danger chances are down.
Yeah.
From where they were last year. I don't know if that's just just a line becoming much better and having experience playing together a lot. But they're not really one I want to target. So do you just expect top 6 to go against top 6 type of thing here, or do you think we're going to see a hard match?
Well, we saw the last game they played against the Leafs. They hard matched against the Tavares line, so it's possible here. But I also wonder which line they try to match up with. So
right. Would you want to send Columbus one up against Koivu, Parise, Niederreiter when that's playing right into Minnesota's hands?
Yeah, I mean probably not, but
I don't know. So another one where it's kind of confusing on the line matching. So can't take that into account too much here. We've got some defensemen that are certainly in play. Seth Jones for Columbus is probably the guy that most people will go to, but Werenski is back on the top pairing with him. And then you've got the trio of Minnesota defensemen, Suter, Spurgeon, Dumba. Any of these guys super appealing to you?
Yeah, I mean the top three on Minnesota, I'll have some of each, probably mixing and matching. Any one of them can go off. They're usually pretty big contributors of their offense, so I like them a lot. And then I guess Columbus, Jones, Werenski, and you can make a case for Murray. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah. Wait, Stamkos line is half the price of Stahl line? What does that mean? On DK? They're not half the price. That'd be crazy. Anyways, goalies here. Dubnyk for 7,400, and Bobrovsky expected to go at 8,200. That's pretty cheap for Dubnyk. No?
Yeah, he's been poor recently, but I'll definitely include him in GPPs.
Okay.
Yeah, he's had a poor last 10 games or so.
Oh yeah, they've got Joseph on that top line. That's right.
It's time.
Okay, ads are popping up now. Yeah, so Joseph makes that super affordable. Is it really half the price though? I guess I haven't really looked at that. All right, you ready to move on from this one?
Sure. Yep.
Sweet. Rangers and Senators. We have Henrik Lundqvist expected to go for the Rangers, going up against Craig Anderson. 3.2 implied total for the Rangers, 3.4 for the Senators. We've got some line changes on the Rangers here. Zibanejad's going to go with Kreider and Ryan Strome, and then Kevin Hayes will center Jimmy Vesey and Philip Hedl. Those guys are all paired up on the power play together, each of those lines. So that's nice. At least that's how they're going to start. That's how they're listed. So it makes it a little bit easier for us as far as correlation goes. And you've got some kind of expensive Senators here and a monster total. So what do we do with this game, Steve?
Most likely just going to have some of each of the top two lines on both teams. I'll just have mix and match. And I think that's kind of how ownership's going to be spread out. No one line should dominate. Maybe you'll probably see the White and Stone and Kachuk line being the higher owned on the Sens side based on the last couple games. And they do have the better possession numbers in general, so that supports that. And on the Rangers side, probably Zibanejad Kreider would be the more popular line, but I think you can make a case for the second line as well.
Yeah. I mean, I was all over Hayes with Edel and Kreider this morning, but then I saw the line changes. It was in an article, so it kind of wasn't super obvious, but Daily Faceoff updated it. I think that is correct. I think it was confirmed from yesterday's morning skate, even though no beats tweeted out the lines. But yeah, I think I have moved a lot of my interest from the Hayes line to Zibanejad, Kreider, Strome. They're similar in price, and I just would prefer Zibanejad and Kreider together rather than the other three. And Strome is, I mean, he's not great, but he is 3K and plays on the power play with them, so he can be included. And then I do agree with you on the Ottawa line, the white line being more owned than the other two, or I guess the other one that is really in play. You mentioned that White wasn't playing on the power play. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, just that I see on Daily Faceoff they have White up there on the top power play unit, but I couldn't find anything in any of the articles or anything I saw on Sen's Twitter. So unless anyone has that information, but it's been Duchesne on the top power play unit.
Yeah, no, definitely important to point out. So, anything else we should talk about here as far as defensemen go? The GOAT, Thomas Chabot, is up to 6,500. It's going to be a high-paced game with a lot of shots. Are you willing to pay that price tag? And then what else are you looking for defensemen?
Yeah, Chabot for sure. I mean, he's killing it. He's awesome. So it's well earned.
Yeah.
So yeah, continue to play him. Continue to fire him up. I treat him like a Brent Burns, except he's been better than Burns this year.
He really has. Yeah, he comes up higher than Burns when they're on the slate together for me, as far like projection wise.
Yeah, so I'll play him all the time, and he's still not even 6K on FanDuel, so
he'll get there. Maybe like in April, he'll get there.
Maybe when he breaks his leg, he'll be 6K or something.
Yeah, coming back from injury, playing 10
minutes. Yeah. Jeez.
I
don't know. Just that so you mentioned on the Rangers side here, you were interested in the Hayes line and then moved off. I think that's what most people will do, but I think that still has potential there as a good line. You can, they might see some of maybe the Duchesne line, which was bad, which is pretty bad defensively. So I think it's kind of a sneakier line now that Kreider's off it, and VC's had a decent enough year for a third liner. He's got 8 goals, so. Yeah. I really don't hate that line still, so I'm not going to completely get off them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not going to be off them in MME, but like for the quality, I just think they're like the clear number one now, and now we've got some clearer matchups too, because the Senators have been rolling the Zach Smith fourth line against top opposing lines, so it just makes it clear with Zibanejad and Kreider being on that top line. Like, I want anyone going up against Smith, Pyatt, Payarvi at even strength, and that's what I expect to happen.
Yeah, for sure. Just looking at their numbers together have been pretty solid as far as the shot attempts for and then high danger chances. So definitely something to keep in mind.
Zibanejad and Kreider?
That's what I meant. Okay. But the Hayes and VC combos through 73 minutes so far this year, generating 18 high danger scoring chances per 60. Yeah. So that's pretty good, and likely play against the Duchesne line. So I think that could be a pretty high event matchup.
Duchesne line's terrible defensively.
Defensively, yeah. But I think they have so the VC Hayes combo has been very high event as far as the high danger scoring chances for and against. So, and then the Duchesne's line is pretty bad when it comes to high danger chances against. So while the ownership's going to be on the other two lines, I think that makes these other two lines appealing. Duchesne and Hayes.
Yeah,
as well.
Ton of shots in this game and scoring chances. So, you think either of these goalies stand on their head or have the potential to? I'm sure you think Lundqvist is probably the better play.
Yeah, the team's just played last week. I think it was a couple of games ago. So it was 4-2 game. You put up pretty decent numbers. Usually goalies against the Sens don't do all that good because of the shot volume. But I'll have pieces of each goalie.
Okay.
Neither are the most appealing goalie in a vacuum, though.
I agree. Sabres and the Lightning. We've got Carter Hutton in net against Louis Domingue. A value, A points grade for Domingue. I'm just seeing that now on Osmo's grades. 2.6 implied total for the Sabres, 3.4 for the Lightning. We're going to see... Oh, first of all, we have some line changes on the Stamkos line, skating with Yanni Gourde, which is normal, and then Matthew Joseph has moved up to the top line. So JT Miller down to the third. JT Miller also off the top power play. Joseph's not going to skate on a power play, but he is 2,800. So what do you think that does for ownership, and then what does that do for your DFS lineups, these line changes on the Lightning?
Yeah, well, that Stamkos line is coming up a lot in early builds, and I'm not sure if I want to have that much of them, but I think Joseph is an interesting add. Just he's been playing well recently. I'm just not sure how it's going to work out here. So I don't know. It's kind of a tough spot. I'll just have them in MME. They wouldn't be my priority here. I still like the point line much better. They're just such good offensive players. It's crazy.
Yeah. Are you buying into the defensive numbers with the point line? I can't remember off the top of my head if they were bad defensively last year, but this year they've been awful, as like just giving up a ton of quality chances, and they hard match against opposing top competition.
Yeah, they've been playing against the best lines though. They've been playing against some really good lines recently, so that makes sense that those numbers would be like that. But are the other top lines really scoring against them that much? I haven't seen the actual results. Maybe they're
not a ton. I mean, I remember I've targeted heavily the last couple of games and kind of been disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointed, but I'm going right back to Buffalo 1 here. I don't know where you're at on them.
I do like them, but again, I would prefer it with Pominville over Reinhardt, as weird as that sounds. Just looking at the numbers there, they haven't really done much with Reinhardt at even strength. They do on the power play, but at even strength, they haven't scored all that much.
It's so weird.
You know, they'll probably get to overtime again, and then Skinner or Eichel is guaranteed goal.
Yeah.
But
how many times that happened? Like Skinner, it seems like every
all
time
the time, man.
Overtime, it's just like
one of the two of them always gets it done.
I'm trying to look up how they were last game at even strength with Reinhardt up there. Natural Statric's not moving at the preferred pace, but I can't remember if they were bad or what happened.
They were middling, very, very middling against San Jose.
Okay. I mean, there's two good lines there, so I don't know. I don't know what to expect. You would think they should be fine offensively. Defensively, they're probably not going to be great. So
I mean, I'll have them. They're showing up a lot in my builds too. They're projected really high because of how they've played so far this season. But yeah, they are showing up on a lot of my early builds.
Do you think they're going to be popular, like in the qualifier?
No.
There's 67 teams.
Qualifier is hard to say. I don't know. Sometimes people. No, I wouldn't expect them to be popular in general.
I was thinking about them for one of my.
It's hard to tell. Like sometimes people, maybe everyone tries to go contrarian, and they all end up on the same plays by being contrarian. I don't know. You kind of get that game theory. People go. Maybe everyone's on level 2 instead of something like that.
Yeah, that is very true.
So it makes it really hard to predict.
Okay.
You'd have to know each player's personality in that who's in the qualifier, but in general, I don't expect them to be popular tonight. So
okay. Yeah,
I think they make for good play for that regard.
Yeah, I really do like them. So I just wanted to get your advanced take on that. And then
I'll probably have them in the point line and Stamkos line from this game. I'll have some of each.
Yeah, I mean the middle stat line's pretty poor defensively with Tage Thompson and Oposo there. Yeah. So I think
that's who the Stamkos line will play against most likely, right?
I thought they'd been rolling out
maybe the third line. Sorry, the third line. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what happens now if the Joseph change moves anything, but.
Yeah.
See.
No, I mean they're gonna get favorable matchups. The Stamkos line too. So.
Yeah.
I mean every Tampa line's gonna have a pretty favorable offensive matchup.
Yeah, so that's really good actually. That's appealing. I know the Reinhardt the Eichel line with Reinhardt has been worse defensively. They're giving up 15 high danger chances against 60. So and then you get the point line who's generating so many.
Right. So
I really do still like them, despite them being super expensive. I think you play both sides of that matchup.
That's what I plan to do. So
yeah,
I'm going to be heavy on both of those, point versus Eichel. Yeah, the middle stat line, they gave up 7 high danger chances against the Sharks at even strength. I did look that up last night. So,
Yeah.
and that was at even strength. So they're just not
I,
very good.
I think if you're looking for more reasons to play Buffalo, or the more appealing side of that is the power play matchup. The fact that they all stay together on the power play.
Yeah, love that.
I believe I mentioned on Tuesday's show, but the Lightning, with their penalty kill dropped to below 70% so far this month. They haven't been very good. They've been giving up a ton of shots in their last few games. They're just coming off a loss at the Ducks too. So,
yikes. Yeah, well, that was a weird one too, and it was no John Gibson either. Miller just.
Yeah, well, I guess Miller has their number. He already beat them once this year.
Did he really?
For that, yeah, in Anaheim.
Wow, they've stolen 2 against Tampa. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. To close out this game, do you have any defensemen you want to mention, or the goalies 77 and 7,800 for these two?
Well, Ristolainen is the clear play on Buffalo's side now that he's on that top power play unit. Just has the much better floor than Dahlin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably just playing him. Maybe Bogosian for blocks and stuff. He's fine there. He's pretty cheap, I think. What's he on DraftKings here?
39.
39.
That's
getting up there a bit. Yeah, it's mostly just Risto for me.
Okay, I think I'm right there with you there. And then Hedman, pretty clear number 1 for Tampa, top power play.
Yeah.
Team. Yeah. He's really tough to fit in though if you try to play Tampa too.
Yeah. So I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to use a Tampa defenseman here or stack one.
All right. And then goalies, Hutton, Domingue.
Hutton's been great. I mean, they've won 10 in a row. He's been really good. So include him, but. Yeah, I don't know. I would include him with Sabre stacks, but as a solo play, it's kind of risky against Tampa.
Doesn't this just seem like the spot where you win 10 straight and you just get crushed like 7-1?
Yeah, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to get filled in, and Tampa would be the team to do it.
Right. They just go nut. Like you can just see it. Or maybe it's 7-4. Hopefully.
I mean, they played a few games ago. They played 6 games ago or so in Buffalo. Buffalo won 2-1, and Hutton made 29 saves. So it's possible he plays it well again.
So I mean, yeah, they have one line. And they don't have last change. And the goalie's been just hot as hell. So there's got to be some regression coming here.
Yeah, their depth lines are pretty poor, I think.
Yeah. On
a defensive look. As far as the hard danger chances and stuff like that. So I think they're due to get beat pretty bad.
We shall see.
Yep.
All right, Arizona and Nashville. We have Aiden Hill getting the start against likely Pecorine. 2.4 implied total for the Coyotes, 3.2 for the Predators. Hill, I believe, came in relief against the Wild a couple nights ago and actually stole the game in the third period.
5 saves. He gets the win.
5 saves? Is that all he had?
Yeah. 5 shots, 5 saves.
Another weird Minnesota game. I didn't really catch the third period, but
they've apparently been collapsing a lot lately. Third period.
Yeah. So I don't really have a ton I love here. I think we're gonna see Bonino again go up against top competition. That's what they've been doing the last couple of games, and then no really hard matches elsewhere. So it would be Bonino, Sissons, and Austin Watson, who's back on the third line. Kevin Fiala up to Nashville's top line with Johansson and Forsberg. Any lines you were targeting heavily here?
I only looked at the very last game to see how they matched. I haven't gone back past a few games. I think that Colorado's a unique case as far as their line matching goes.
Okay.
Yeah, because looking at the previous game, the last game that they played at home was St. Louis, and they had the Johansson line against the Tarasenko line.
Wait, against St. Louis? I'm saying against the Ducks on the 25th, so 4 days ago?
25th. Oh, okay, so that's more recently.
Let's see. I can't remember what it was for that.
Yeah, they played him they played the Johansson line against Getzlaf. Yeah. And then Bonino was against the Henrique line. So I think that the Bonino line is a unique case against Colorado. They really want to get them against the McKinnon line, despite the McKinnon line dominating them.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd want a hard match with Bonino, but
Yeah, I mean, in the past they've had their number, but I don't know what's going on there. That's just a personal thing between the two teams, like just a personal preference on how they match. But I'm kind of expecting the Johansson line to go back up against one of the top lines for the Coyotes here.
Okay, so you like Nashville 1 then?
I really like Nashville 1, and I'm just curious as to how popular they will be tonight. Just I feel like the Jets will be the most popular.
Yep.
And then
Tampa.
Maybe Nashville 1, but it could be Tampa. Yeah.
Man. I mean, it's not
just based on their Vegas line. They're the biggest favorites on the night. So
right, and I guess there's only one line that's going to be super appealing to the average DFS
player. Yeah, right? Yeah. But I really do like their numbers together, and Arizona's really bad in the high danger chances allowed category.
Yeah. You've been talking about that for weeks now. Like the expected goals, high danger chance, like same thing. They've been pretty poor in that category, but they haven't gotten blown up that I've remembered.
Yeah, the number that sticks out for me, the Forsberg line there has almost 18 high danger chances, 4 per 60, over a decent enough sample size. It's getting on almost 70 minutes now, so that's pretty appealing to me. Forsberg, Johansson, Fiala.
Yep.
Yeah.
You would expect them to be good, right, with Fiala too. So it
sure,
makes sense.
Yeah.
I just wish they would keep Fiala up in the top 6 somewhere and stop messing around and playing him on the 4th line.
Yeah, he hasn't had the best season, but I feel like he's starting to get it together.
Well, that's the way to start him up, is put him with Johansson and Forsberg. Do you like this Nashville 3rd line at all? Bonino, Sissons, and Watson. Watson's 4,800, but the other 2 guys are cheap.
Their numbers are pretty solid together. I think I prefer them over that second line.
Yeah.
The Yarncroc, Hartman, Smith line. I definitely prefer them over them.
Yeah. We just got a question in chat, so I wanted to see if you had any interest or if you had them written down as a value stack or anything.
Yeah, they're decent enough. I wouldn't put them in any of my hand build lineups, I don't think, but I'll make sure to get them in the MME formats.
Okay. We've got a $6,700 Roman Yossi, who is an A points grade and an A value, even for $6,700. Ellis, the other guy, $5,300. A little bit of savings there, but Ekholm is still listed on the top power play. So what do you do with these Nashville defensemen here?
Yeah, while I do expect Nashville to have a ton of power play opportunities tonight, their power play has been trash, and Arizona's penalty kill has been awesome. So I'm not going to concern myself too much with their special teams, especially the way they mix and match things. So I'm mostly concerned about 5-on-5 play here. And I think that both Yossi and Ellis are very, very strong options. I probably won't have much at home.
I like it. Yeah. Man. So, yeah, because the power play one, like you said, doesn't really matter that much in this matchup. Pretty poor special teams for Nashville. Anything on Arizona's side, goalies, skaters, anything?
You could take a flyer on Hill. I think he's been okay in the past. He played 1 or 2 games last year, a few games last year.
Oh yeah, I played him. I played him one of the games.
Yeah, I vaguely remember using him.
He gave up. He was up 3-0, gave up 3 in the 3rd, and then 1 in shootout. I remember it very clearly. I don't know why, but that was a tough sweat. I remember.
Yeah, yeah, I do recall. Looking at the blurb here, it looks like the Coyotes picked up Calvin Pickard.
Oh, good. There's their savior right there. He looked disgusting against those Toronto. I was watching on, I think it was Saturday.
Like every goal through the 5-hole?
Oh my God, he was awful. Yeah.
He's got a 6-hole going on there?
Yeah, he was really, really bad. So they cut him pretty quick, and I can't believe he got picked up after that.
Desperate times, I suppose.
Yeah. Rene, 8,500. Is that too expensive? Probably going to get the win, but just...
Yeah, it's a bit much, but he's fine. Just I don't usually like paying up that much on DraftKings.
Yeah, neither do I. We can move on.
Yeah.
All right. Blackhawks and Jets. Corey Crawford going up against Connor Hellebuck. 2.6 implied total for the Blackhawks. 3.5 for the Jets. I don't really have a ton of notes for this game. We've got Pierlini on with Saad and Tays on the top line. No Dustin Byfuglien. Sami Niku is going to draw into the lineup. He's 2,500 and listed on the second power play. Don't know exactly how matchups are going to go here. Probably doesn't really matter for Winnipeg's side. They clearly have the best line here, and it's going to be really chalky, or pretty chalky. So what do you do with Winnipeg here?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Jets. It's obviously a great spot. Chicago's just terrible.
Yeah.
But honestly, the best matchup here is the power play. It is phenomenal spot here. All the underlying numbers back up their success rates on the power play and penalty kill. The Jets just have a phenomenal unblocked shot attempts per 60 on the power play, and the Hawks terrible in that regard. The expected goals for and against on the power play penalty kill are heavily in Winnipeg's favor. So just a really strong power play matchup, and it looks like we're getting Morrissey on the top unit again.
Yep, Morrissey.
So very, very solid play tonight.
This is a terrifying fade if you're fading Winnipeg here. Like top or second line A, whatever. Like, they're super expensive, but there are lines to fit in with them. So I've already like played around with it. It's not that difficult to get them in, especially with Morrissey in there for 4,300. So Winnipeg's just a terrifying team on the power play, and now you throw in a bad kill for the Blackhawks. Really, their only chance here is Crawford standing on his head. It could happen. I don't know, but hard not to smash Winnipeg here in MME formats for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Hellbuck hasn't been great lately, so maybe the Hawks could try to outscore them.
Oh God.
I don't know. Like, this could be a shootout here. Neither of the especially the little line's not good defensively at all. But they probably won't see either of the top two lines for the Hawks.
Right, they've been getting depth lines.
So you'll probably see the Lowry, Tanev, Perreault line playing against Taves, I would think, something like that. And then maybe the Scheifele Wheeler line against the Kane line.
Yeah, they're gonna smash the Kane line.
They should, but it could just be a high event matchup both ways. I could see both sides having success. Just looking at some of the numbers here for the Scheifele line, they're really strong offensively in every regard, but they do give up. Actually, no, it's not so bad on the high danger chances allowed. I could have sworn those numbers were higher. Maybe I just misread that.
The Scheifele line?
Yeah, giving up about 10.5 high danger chances per 60, which is average.
It's come down a bit.
Yeah, it's come down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So I have no clue what I'm doing with Winnipeg in the two lineups, like my two main lineups, I guess I'll call them, in the queue.
Yeah.
They're terrifying me to fade.
Can you do 5-man power play stack?
You probably
onslaught. Is that possible?
Could. So you leave
with Colby Cave.
Oh, let's try it. Let's try it right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you could go. Let's go. Scheifele, Wheeler, Line A, Connor, Morrissey, and then what else? Would you finish it off with a 6 player, or just keep a 5-man power play?
You could
maybe Ehlers.
Yeah, you could just throw in Ehlers there. There's the 6-man,
and then Colby Cave you can fire in at center. You can pay up if we can. And who's the cheapest defenseman?
Yeah, I don't think you can actually. You might have to go down to like Niku.
Play Aiden Hill. What is that? Oh, it's 2,000. Yeah, it doesn't. You don't. There's not enough. Well, maybe you could play. Is there 2,500 center and a 2,500 defense? Well, defenseman's easy, but is there 2,500 min price for or center?
I don't know. So here's what I would do. I'd probably go like, I would leave Ehlers off and just hope for the Winnipeg power play.
You can leave
smash.
Ehlers off.
Or
you could play Riley Nash, Larson on Buffalo.
You could even have a 6-man, but just instead of Ehlers, go Niku, and now you've got a center, utility, and then a goalie left with 4,700.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to punt. You're probably gonna have to get Colby Cave in there and hope for an assist, or somehow someone throws one off his skate and goes in.
Yeah.
But then it's pretty doable. So.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. It's doable but hard to do.
Right. Yeah. At least it's not just like boom, boom, boom. Let's just do this 5-2-1.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what I do. I don't know. If you want to know, I don't know why you'd want to know, but if you want to know, just message me in Slack, and I'll tell you how I end up with the Q lineups. Crawford here. You taking any risks there?
6,900. It's not the worst risk. Yeah, it's not the worst risk to take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have some of them. He really torpedoed me on Tuesday night. I had a fair amount of him and Fleury, which didn't work out so well.
Yeah. Who was that against? I can't remember.
Vegas versus the Hawks. Yeah. I had both goalies. Yeah. I played enough of their offense, but I still had both goalies a decent amount.
Yeah, tough night if you were correlating too.
Yeah, exactly.
You ready to move on from this game, or do you like a Chicago line that you want to mention?
I would take a shot on this. Well, actually, I think you could take a shot on both lines. Neither one particularly stands out because they're somewhat new combos, but probably Kane with DeBrincat and Strome seem like the best offensive fit, but maybe not the best possession line.
Pretty affordable, so, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, a couple more games to talk about, and then we'll get out of here for the NBA show. We've got the Kings and the Edmonton Oilers, 2.5 implied total for the Kings, 2.9 for the Oilers. Jonathan Quick is expected to go for the Kings, and then Mikko Koskinen for the Oilers. Man, nothing in this game is coming up for me in any strong capacity, or however you'd say it. But I will mention the Carter line has been really good with Clifford lately, oddly enough, in the first couple games. So you got anything in this game you want to talk about?
To be honest, I don't have a ton of interest in this matchup. The Kings have been playing a bit better lately, especially both lines. The Kopitar line's finally starting to score goals. And then Edmonton, as soon as they got Hitchcock, they just turned into a grinded out kind of team. So kind of kills the offensive upside here for both sides. So it might bite me not to have much exposure to this game. I am noticing McDavid line coming up a fair amount in initial builds, though. It is nice that you can play the four-man full correlation between on the power play as well, with Clefbaum and Chiasson playing with Draisaitl and McDavid at both strengths.
For sure. Yeah, that is nice from a correlation standpoint. Just super expensive. If you just go with salary, like per team total, they're just really bad values, and you can kind of see that. Besides McDavid, who's always
especially with Chiasson's price coming up to 5,100 now.
Yeah, man.
And Clefbaum over 5K now, finally.
That jumped pretty quick for Chiasson.
Yeah, or not finally, but.
And then the Kings, they just rarely ever do anything for me. We're not gonna see much hard matching going on here. Maybe McDavid more time against Kopitar than not, but there's just nothing that sticks out to me outside of maybe a Carter Toffoli mini. Yeah,
that's possible. I'm not seeing. Their numbers look pretty good through 38 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Strong possession numbers, strong scoring chance numbers,
low results. One was
against
Vancouver though. One game was against Vancouver. I don't know what to think of it. I saw that right before the show, and I was like, oh, maybe I should at least mention them because. Yeah,
it's worth taking a good look at, and I think they're fine plays, especially if they play against Edmonton depth there. I noticed that Edmonton's they've been trying to use the big bodies there as the shutdown line.
Oh yeah,
the Brodziak, Lucic, and Cassian. Yeah. And their numbers look good. 42 minutes together, very good Corsi for percentage and high danger chances for percentage. So I don't know what to make of that, but Hitchcock loves the big guys.
Yeah, that's terrible. Whatever. I mean, I'm gonna have very minimal exposure to this game, which will probably be pretty popular. So I'm not taking any big stands here. Do you like either of the goalies Quick in his return for 7,200 or Koskinen for 79?
I think both are in play. Just how Edmonton's been playing all these low-scoring games lately.
Yeah, have their shot attempts and shots on goal been going down?
It looks like a very low event kind of game. I think for them.
Yeah, there's just never anything that appealing when you think that's going to be how the game goes. Like there's going to be 23 shots on goal here for each team.
Yeah.
Then the goalies have such limited upside. The players have to just do so much and very little shot attempts. So
I think the prices on LA are much better, so they probably make for a better value play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like even Edmonton's numbers at even strength aren't even like that bad. Like they were terrible last year, but this year a little bit different story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last game of the night, we have the Vegas Golden Knights against the Vancouver Canucks. Marc-Andre Fleury going up against Jacob Markstrom. 3.3 implied total for the Golden Knights, one of the highest on the night despite being on the road. 2.7 for the Canucks. The Canucks have been hard matching Horvat against top competition, so that would likely put him on Carlson, Marchessault, Smith. Do you think they actually do that though with Lipsick and Virtanen up on the top line?
Virtanen seems like a shutdown role guy.
Okay, he does.
The way they use it. Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong on that. I don't follow Vancouver all that closely, but they had him. You know, they had him when he was with Granlund. They're playing this against the second lines mostly. So, yeah, I could see that. Okay. I could see them keeping that up against the top line.
Okay. And then does that do anything for you? Are you heavy on Vegas 1 here? Looking like Osimo likes Vegas 1 quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, they still project very well. And let me just see. I was looking at the Vancouver numbers with that specific line combo. Weren't looking too good. Horvat with Virtanen specifically was not very good defensively.
I think you're right on that.
Yeah. So that seems like a good matchup to target the Carlson line. They haven't been getting the results that the second line have, so maybe they probably go a little under the radar. I'm sure everyone's going to be looking to keep playing Pacioretty, Eakin, and Tuch again.
5K Cody Eakin. Here we are. Let's see, what are they to stack in total? 17K? Or you could stack the Vegas 1s for 16.4.
Yeah, so
pretty easy decision for me.
Yeah. It's just a little disconcerting how they haven't been getting the results, though.
They should. Are you talking about Vegas 1?
Yeah.
They should.
It's tough to keep going back to the well.
They'll probably have 3 straight smash games in a row.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta stay strong.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a long season. We'll make our money back on Vegas 1 at some point, I'm sure. But like you look at Vegas 2's numbers, they're not that great defensively either. A bunch of scoring chances, not a ton of high danger chances, but a lot of shots and scoring chances against. So I'm on the Pettersson, Goldobin, Brock Besser line. They're just cheap, and you haven't been able to play them for a while. I don't think anybody's going to be super high on them. It's a 2.7 implied total for the Canucks. So this is a line that I'm going to have quite a bit in MME. What do you think about the Pettersson line here?
I mean, they're I think the best bet for offense on Vancouver. It's just a question of, do I want to target Vegas? I mean, the Eakin line, their high danger chances have improved recently. Possession numbers still aren't great, but they're getting better.
Okay.
So it could be a product of who they've been playing. And that third line in any combination, strong possession numbers as well. So I don't really like they give up goals against, but their underlying numbers are not bad at all.
You talking about the Reeves line or the Carpenter?
The Carpenter Nozick line. Yeah, if they treat that as the third line there. But
yeah. It's a great power play matchup for Vegas too. As far as they should be on the power play a ton, so that's why you're seeing the increased total.
And I mentioned it last time, but their power play's been heating up.
Yeah, you did mention that. And then they went off for 8 goals. I should have listened more.
I didn't get the right lines, but
that's all right.
I had a lot of Vegas 2 sans Eakin.
Yeah, Eakin just on a tear lately. Every single time. They went nuts in Edmonton on Sunday night fairly recently. Which line is that, Matt? I don't know. The Besser line? Anyways. All right. You got anything else on this game or on this slate that we should be mentioning before we head out?
Schmidt, Theodore, Miller, defenseman plays there. And Adler's pretty decent play for Vancouver. That's all I'm looking there in that game. But overall, nothing really to add. Yeah. Pretty basic slate.
And then just one other thing, like Besser attempted 10 shots last game, so he came right back firing. Edler played over 20 minutes, So he's the guy that I like quite a bit for Vancouver, even at 5,600. And then Markstrom is just super cheap for 7,100 and at home. It's not great, but especially with the power play chances for Vegas here. But if they can somehow stay out of the penalty box, he's got a chance to scoop up a win here for 7,100.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
All right. Anything else from chat? Otherwise, we will head out and let the NBA guys take over. I think it's just a 3-game slate. I think Laffy and Adam will be breaking it down for you guys, and then there's an hour of nothing in between. It's a late start for NBA, so I think we're going to have the Live Before Lock show at 7 Eastern. There will also be 3 fellas talking football, so if you're looking to play some Showdown or looking for a preview of Week 13 NFL, that would be a very good show to watch, so set your reminders for that. Steve, you got anything else?
Nothing really to add here. Just good luck tonight, guys. Good luck.
Yeah, guys, good luck. Give us a like if you did enjoy this. And we'll be back tomorrow. I think it's Nolan and myself. So thanks for watching, and good luck tonight.
Cheers.